Hello and welcome to the Sports 6, another lovely Monday, December 1st. Hoping that wherever you are, everything is okay. Welcome. We have plenty to talk about this particular morning, including mixed martial arts, MMA, as well as the freestyle football, and also be talking about the forthcoming Anoka Games. And our focus will be on one of the disciplines that Kenya will be featuring in the games that are set to begin on 9th of December, and that will be beach volleyball. We'll be having Mr. Moses Mbudhia live in the studio, as well as the coaches who are busy preparing the teams in Mombasa. That's the women's teams, Mr. Patrick Owino and Praxidi Sagala in Mombasa via Zoom. And of course, later on, I'll be speaking to Hazel Selesi and Austin Maina, who won the Predator Challenge over the weekend. But first things first, I'm pleased to have the mixed martial arts pioneer, Julio de Souza, as well as a mixed martial arts player and athlete, that's Brian Munyi. Karibuni sana. You're welcome to the studio. Mr. Julio, just doing a rough background check about you. You are the pioneer of this particular sport in the country, and maybe in the region, actually, East Africa. And going by how it's peaking and gaining traction, you'll say that maybe what you wanted to see in 1995 is what's happening right now?
It's it's an incredible journey. I think the sport in Kenya is in an incredible place. We have a first event happening on Friday, first pro event. We're looking forward to put Kenyan athletes in the regional scene, also hopefully internationally. That's the plan.
Yes, Brian, what an opportunity does the Anza MMA present to you? I know that there've been a number of amateur fights, so you've also taken part, but now the platform that's been provided by Anza MMA. Yes.
So, for the entire ecosystem of the MMA in the region and also in Kenya, the Anza MMA has changed the whole grounding of every athlete that wants to get into MMA. Now, if you're having events every single month or every single following month, your training is even more geared towards whatever event that is about to go on. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe, Julio, talk about the Anza MMA and what we really have there. We have more than 5 fights on that night.
Yes, this card is the very first professional card in Kenya, licensed by the Kenya Oriental Combat Federation. It's a milestone event for the country and for the athletes. We're hoping to have a pack house at Broadwalk Mall and basically set the stage for future events, for the crowd to enjoy, for the athletes to perform well. And there are going to be Kenyan athletes versus Ugandan athletes, Tanzanian athletes versus Ugandan athletes. So it's a little bit of a regional battle for who each country has the best professional athletes at the moment.
And maybe what do we expect to see that particular day? The fighters that have come through the ranks, taking part in previous events.
We're hoping to see some violence, some really good fights, high-level athletes, well-prepared athletes that are now taking the sport seriously at professional level. We're hoping to see exciting matches. I think we have Osama and George, which are the two Kenyan stars of MMA at the moment. They already fought internationally, and they're going to be doing their home pro debut, and we hope to see a lot of people there to support the Kenyans in these co-main and main events.
But, I mean, why is this particular league brand, though you'll not be participating on Friday, but why is it important to the fighters?
It's important to the fighters because now it gives the professional side of MMA to every Kenyan athlete who practices mixed martial arts. So it's super, super important because now we are now going to another gear now. It's not just the amateurs, now we're going to another gear where now it's professional now. Yeah.
Well, has it taken fighters to see the growth and the progress that the sport has taken over time?
So yes, for sure, it's been a struggle for a while for anyone who either wanted to get into MMA, because now with Anza having the events as regularly and now going into professional fights, we are good now, we are set now. Yeah.
You say that after the professional bouts, we see what maybe this could be shared by the two of you. Looking at in the continent, right? We just see like a lot is happening in South Africa and West Africa, maybe Nigeria, where really big events, big promoted events are happening. Would you say that that's the yardstick for even in the East Africa region, especially for Kenya?
Exactly, and even we're looking to even do it even better for sure.
That's what I was going to say, exactly. There's a bar there, but I feel like with the quality of the athletes, with the federation support, with our, with KO supporting us, I think that we have the chance to really raise the bar. And why not do better than the EFC in South Africa or the AKO in Nigeria? We've been to these events. We know we've been to events also in Dubai and Abu Dhabi where there's a lot for us to work towards, but why not set the standard in Africa for MMA here in Kenya? That's the goal.
Man, where does that confidence come?
When you train and you do the hard work and you see the talent of the talented athletes that we have in the country, I don't see why we can, aim higher than the South Africans and the Nigerians.
And maybe what are they doing right? We know that they've been around for some time, but when did they start working?
I think the South Africans, they have a very strong amateur league for many, many years. Obviously, they had one UFC middleweight champion, DDP. Nigeria, they have the numbers. They have, there's a lot of people and some history on combat sports. But I think that with the Kenyan also legacy in athletics and the quality of fighters from Kenya, I think we can be on par.
So it's been a long time coming.
For sure, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, what an opportunity for the fighters.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very, very big opportunity for the fighters. Really change, or it has really changed the way they look at themselves, for sure.
Yep. For Julio, maybe how deep is your passion for this particular sport, and looking at the experience, how it has played to your advantage up to now?
Mixed martial arts has a root in Brazilian Vale Tudo, the origins of the sport. And I'm Brazilian. I've been practicing jiu-jitsu since I was a teenager, studying martial arts when I was 5 in judo, and kind of dedicated my life to to compete and then to train, and now help fighters fulfill their dreams. So it's a lifetime passion and dedication, mostly here in Kenya for the last 21 years. So now we're seeing the fruits of our labor.
Yeah, it's promising.
Indeed.
Brian, was it automatic for you with MMA?
For me?
Yeah.
So my roots are rooted in jiu-jitsu, and most jiu-jitsu players usually transition into MMA because that's the evolution of how the sport usually takes you into the mixed martial arts. So yes, I can say for me, I started in jiu-jitsu, but now transitioning into MMA, nothing to it for sure.
Not for real. Yeah. And why do they say that jiu-jitsu it's complex?
No, I think any martial art is complex. That's the beauty of it, right? There is a level of difficulty and a personal challenge in any combat sports, and I think jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu or judo or Muay Thai, these are martial arts that challenge oneself, and they're supposed to be a little complicated.
but definitely it's not a gentle art, as the jiu-jitsu means, right?
It is. Why don't you come to the gym to try out one day? I'll give you a private class.
For real, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll take on one of the...
Then you can tell the audience if it's gentle or not.
Brian, is it a gentle sport?
So yes, it's called the gentle art because whatever you get from whatever philosophical side you get from the teachings, very gentle, but you have to put in the work. So the work is not the gentle part. Yes.
But it's all about subduing, resisting. Opponent,
Yes, with the minimum damage to the opponent. That's why the number originates from the gentle art. But it is a combat sport, right? So there is some element of physical stress, if you will.
Yes.
But after the first few sessions, most people get used to it and they enjoy a lot.
Brian, grappling, takedowns, as well as striking, what works for you?
Mixing. I like mixing, but I'm more of a wrestler, grappler type style of fighting. Yes.
Julio, how does this, knowing that, of course, there is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and also it's all originating from Asia, Japan, and now here in Kenya, Africa. You've been here for quite some time now, since '95. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we started disseminating Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu here in Kenya with a few other athletes about 20 years ago. From a judo club where I was taking classes and then started teaching Jiu-Jitsu, to teaching at Coliseum, which is a traditional Muay Thai gym here in Kenya, in Nairobi, to Mombasa Sharks, to One Tribe Jiu-Jitsu. So we actually have a community of athletes now that is growing. Brian heads Chanuka. So we are competitors in tournaments, but we are collaborators to to make sure the sports grow and we have more people practicing the art. That's the goal.
Culturally, have you been able to integrate it amongst the...
I think everybody now, all the my Kenyan athletes, our students have become a little bit more familiar with the Brazilian culture. We try to not only exchange athletes to come here, more Brazilians. We had black belts coming from Brazil to teach. We take our athletes abroad from Kenya. So it's a beautiful exchange of culture through martial arts that I love to see and continue to see for the future.
What impact, Brian, has it had on you?
Super big impact for sure. So I started in 2018 in one of the gyms, One Tribe Jiu-Jitsu. Then did my Jiu-Jitsu journey until 2023. I opened my own space, just a small space, to just train with the guys around where I train. And now we have numbers. And actually, you can imagine, even with employment opportunities, like I'm a coach at Nairobi Jiu-Jitsu, which is one of the biggest Jiu-Jitsu entities in the region. Yeah, so very big impact.
Yeah.
From when I started to now, super big impact. Yeah.
And more to come from Chanuka.
Yes,
right?
for sure.
Why did you launch it? Why did you have to begin it?
So my reason for starting Chanuka was finding a space that is close to where I am and teaching the guys that needed the skill near where I was. So found a gym, started teaching 2 of my friends. Then from then on, it just molded into something else. Yes.
Julio, your history is well documented with Nairobi Academy. What would be the impact and maybe outstanding recognizable achievement that the Academy has had?
Yeah, so we've I think grown now to a very well established gym. We won first place in the AJP Africa Continental Tournament this year, #1 in Africa. We placed 4 worldwide. Our head coach Osama was ranked #7 in the world professional athlete in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We had we now are expanding to a new space, which is 6,000 square feet, with 10 full-time coaches, professional athletes, amateur athletes, hobbyists that want to learn martial arts and just get fit. So yeah, Nairobi Jiu-Jitsu Academy has been a dream of mine that has become a reality. So I'm very happy that we are in this time. For us is critical, right? We have athletes, we have events, we have visibility, and thank you for the support here. Just to spread the martial arts as far as wide as we can, and get Kenyan athletes in the world stage. That's the goal.
Why is Kenya first off the blocks compared to maybe what's happening in Uganda or Dar es Salaam?
I think there's a MMA Dar. There's a strong presence in Dar es Salaam. There is a Kampala Grapplers Club in Uganda. I believe that we need more gyms in the region. I'm biased. I'm going to say that Kenya, we have the strongest team and we have the strongest athletes, but I guess Professor X and the guys from Kampala will think differently. And they're coming on Friday, so we're going to find out in the ring who's the best.
I need to have the front seat ticket.
You'll be my guest. Are you afraid of a cage? There may be some blood coming your way. I hope you're okay with that.
I'm okay with that. I want to see it just like everybody who will be there.
Yes,
fantastic.
Brian, looking at maybe what Julio has just talked about, the athleticism as well as the qualities of Kenyan players. What do you make of that? Is that the reason why maybe we've been off the block fast?
Yes, for sure. I think the #1 quality of Kenyan players is intelligence. Like, they're super intelligent. So technically, they're the most sound, technically around the region, probably even Africa, for sure, even in Africa for sure. Because you can imagine with, let's say, like Osama, with him not being in the circuit for so long, and he's already 7th ranked in Africa. So you can imagine not being in circuit for so long, and you're already ranked as top 10 in Africa. So the intelligence is the first attribute that I attribute for Kenyan fighters or athletes. That's the number one. Then second, our just body mechanics and all that, we're gifted as Kenyans for sure. Yes,
that's true. That's what you've seen for
that's very true.
More than 20 years.
That's very true. African, there were 3 African UFC champions at some point, from Cameroon and Nigeria. The Kenyan athletes, and if you look at the marathon results in long distance and resistance, Kenyans are second to none. We want to harness that natural ability, that God-given ability of athleticism to now combine with technique and hopefully see Kenyans, performing in the international stage.
Yes, indeed. So the levels of maybe MMA, what are the main characteristics? So people could be talking just mixed martial arts. Maybe they could be wrestling, they could be Jiu-Jitsu, as well as, what else?
Muay Thai, boxing, karate. We have athletes from with Taekwondo background. The beauty of mixed martial arts is that you can have athletes from many different martial arts. So yeah.
Yes. Brian, for you, what really worked for you when you're beginning, and gave you confidence? Maybe the bouts that you won, was it the bouts that you won, or the discipline that took you to the gym, the commitment?
So for me, it's the camaraderie of the people around me. So that's what made me feel like I need to continue and do my stuff.
On Friday, we know that there could be a good number of people who will be coming, for this being a first pro event, right? What's running in the mind, and how you want for it to come out the following day, people to remember it?
I would like to be an epic night of incredible fights between professional athletes, the highest level in East Africa. I would like to see the Kenyan athletes performing well. I would like to see the crowd enjoying themselves, because the events are usually a lot of fun. And for people to be, the athletes to go home safe and perform well. That's what I would like to hear in the news the next day.
Nice one. Do you expect to see a lot happening?
So yeah, I'll be in the cage with most of the guys because of officiating. So good luck to all the best to all my fellow athletes, Kenyan athletes. This is going to be a banger of an event for sure. Yeah.
Why not in the ring? Why would they bring the cage?
Yeah, mixed martial art, transition from a ring set up in 1993 with the UFC when the cage, the octagon, the famous octagon was created. It just gives another level of excitement, because in a ring with the ropes for wrestling, people can fall out. In the cage, there's nowhere to go. Even if you want to escape, there's only one way out of that cage.
Memorable fight for you when you're still getting to the cages?
I think that I had a very fun boxing fight in Kigali years ago, which I remember fondly, because it was in a parking lot of a car wash, and to see an event now taking place in Kenya in a proper event, proper location, with production crew, with music, with entertainment. It's such a long journey to see what's happening now, and I really want everybody to come and check it out.
Brian, favorable fight, memorable fight for you?
Probably my debut amateur fight, unsanctioned, unlicensed MMA fight. But that was like the top of my performances. I love that, because I finished the guy in 1 minute.
In what? But people had paid to see longer fights.
Yes, exactly. So.
Yeah, what happens to the guy who loses a fight in one second? Is he serious?
You have to come back again, And then in MMA, it's just as much as it is fighting, it's chance as well. So you can show up that day, probably you just didn't show up correct and you get beat, but you always show up to win, for sure. Yeah.
You have to stay, you have to know that your mind has to be there.
Show up to win, yes.
No time to slack or lose the focus for even a second.
Yes.
But from your perspective as a player as well as a commissioner, what will, get the game growing to the next level? After
Whatever is happening right now, that's what we're in the correct timeline, for sure. Whatever is happening right now is, and it's fast tracked. This should have taken way longer. It's in that period of time that ANZA has existed.
Yes,
it has really changed the dynamics of MMA in the country.
Exciting times for the players.
For sure.
I mean, in Nairobi only?
So no, ANZA has people from Kisii, from Mombasa. We had an event in Mombasa, so you can imagine, like, it's the whole country. Yeah.
Julio, maybe what next now? What must happen? Keep happening. Let's policy as well as structure.
Yeah, I think that visibility from the media helps a lot. Support from the Ministry of Sport for the federation helps a lot. People watching the events and coming to the events also is important, and we would like to travel with ANZA to Western Kenya to find some big Kenyan guys, and travel around to show the sport to more people and get more young people into the sport. That would be the next steps for us.
How easy or how difficult will it be to get the preferred ones, the natural?
It's not easy, but once people watch the fights and people get inspired to try, a lot of people became fighters because they wanted to go and get fit, or wanted to learn how to defend themselves, or wanted to try something new. There are many reasons why you might become an aspiring professional fighter. But it's human nature. Both men and women today are becoming fighters, and MMA is growing. It's the fastest growing sport in the world. So there's a good reason for it.
What do you think has really caught the flame for MMA? I mean, it's all over right now, and it's really a sport that favors black people. Yeah,
I think
they're excelling in it.
It's the excitement, the excitement element of it. I think MMA, having two trained athletes in a cage. With very little, rules. There are many rules, but MMA gives the chance to show who is the best martial arts artist, and that is very cool, right? If you're a boxer, if you're a jiu-jitsu fighter, if you're a karate fighter, go into the cage and then prove yourself, right? That is very appealing for a lot of people. I think that's what is making the sports very popular.
Yeah. Apart from Osama, maybe other great prospects. Brian as well is here. Yeah.
I think George is fighting as well. George Okumu, he's a promise, from Kenya. We have from the amateur, I think Hassan from Uganda is doing extremely well. He's undefeated. Somebody, Chaluka guys, anybody want to mention, Brian?
Bobby, Dennis, Victor.
We have a number. I would say we probably have about 100 athletes now registered under the federation competing. So we have a lot of talent. We're gonna go places, I think.
Now on Friday, will there be winning prizes? Will there be?
These are professional fights.
Yes.
These are being compensated. They're being paid. There's win bonuses. There are knockout of the night bonus. There are submission of the night bonuses. KO and Hustle Sasa and obviously ANZA are doing a great job in providing a platform for professional athletes to be paid. There are medical checks, obviously, there are rules meetings. This is a professional event and everything that comes with it. The production quality is going to be really, really nice. And athletes are getting paid. That's about time. ANZA MMA always pay the athletes on time. After your fight, you get your money immediately after. They never delayed payment to any fighters, and that's how we want to set the bar for events in the future.
And what gap did ANZA see in the promotion before beginning the promotion?
I mean, there wasn't any licensed events, right? So the gap was a professionally run licensed event, and they found their niche, and this is our 5th event, first pro, and we're very excited.
Yes, indeed. So just like as we come towards the end of the talk, after the ANZA MMA on 5th December, we expect to see more fights. Maybe what's the immediate one?
February is the next amateur event, and then they hope to announce the next pro event, which hopefully it's going to be before the Q1 of next year. But events next year, every month from February, amateur and professional. That's what we have on the schedule.
Exciting news, Brian.
For sure. For sure.
You'll be back in the ring?
Yeah.
The cage?
So probably the next pro event, I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad to see you. Hope to see you on Friday as well.
For sure.
I'll have the front seat ticket to witness the fights.
Fantastic.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much, Julio and Brian,
Shukran.
for making your time and coming in the morning to speak to us about the mixed martial arts, a growing sport in the country, that with the Anza MMA KO Fight Night that will be happening this Friday. Where?
At Broadwalk Mall.
Broadwalk Mall. From what time?
From gates open at 6 p.m. Fight starts at 7 p.m. sharp.
Yes, indeed. So make your way there. 5th is this Friday. There'll be first pro MMA fight in the region, actually, in East Africa. And Kenya is leading the line, championed by Julio, who has more than 20 years of practicing and hung the boot in 95 as a fighter, but now growing the sport. And he's the founder of Nairobi Jiu-Jitsu Academy. And Mr. Brian Munyi, who is still a fighter and is a commissioner with MMA and also an active athlete. Thank you so much for making your time. Up next, we'll be speaking to one Moses Mbudi, as well as coaches Patrick Owino and Praxidi Sagala on the preparations for the forthcoming Anoka Games. But focus will be on the beach volleyball. Remember that the Anoka Games are happening this month. From next week, yes, we'll be on Zoom interview and also later on engage Austin and Hazel, who are freestyle footballers in the house. But stand by for the break. We'll be back shortly, but we'll leave you with this particular recap of the Ulinzi and Bandaris, the battle to 1-1 draw during the Premier League match. So don't go too far. We'll be back with more.